It's a great honor to have you this night tonight. Thank you. And at first, I want to introduce all my family first, because our artwork is our family heritage. So please join my family. Come on. Thank you. Thank you. First, everybody wants you about knowing about the Korean celadon. What is the Korean celadon, right? What is the difference from other celadons? I just want to Korean celadon. The Korean celadon is a discovery of scientific technology that was made by 1,000 years ago, my ancestors. At that time, they didn't know about how make this one, but they made a lot of failures and a lot of repetitions. And then finally, they find how to make the great color celadon. That is I believe this is in dominant spirit, our fearlessness of failure have created things like K-pops and K-dramas and K-food. And then you can see these two biggest celadon in the world. It took a decade. The first 5 years, we failed. We didn't know about what is the problem. But after 5 years, we find how to make it. We changed the component of the clay and glaze and firing processing. And then we finally success several pieces of the biggest celadon in the world. So it took a decade. There's a lot of big ceramics in the world, but this celadon is special. Like almost whole surface is designed by the 10 symbolize the longest symbols. So it took just the carving by 2 or 3 months, and drying is 3 months. So if you make this kind of big ceramic, it normally takes 1 year more. But the successful rate is under the 30%. If you make 3, just you can get 1. But after 1 year later. And then we call the open work. You can see the white like a jewelry one. We call the open work. Open work celadon. That is a double layer celadon. Double layer. The inside there's one more vessel is there, because the ceramics function is put something inside, liquid or something. But if you open the outside, the function doesn't exist. So we want to keep the functions of the ceramic and describe most beautiful design by the open work. That is almost took 1 year or piece. Yeah, carving almost 5 or 6 months, and drying 3 months more, and 1 or 2 months is glazing. But the success rate is more difficult like other celadons, because there's a lot of holes in there. The celadon's shrinkage is normally 20%, but the normal ceramics shrinkage percent is 10%, almost double. That means when you make 1 meter by the clay, after firing 70 centimeters, almost 30% shrink. So when the celadons inside of a kiln, they're like a jelly state when at high temperatures, like jelly. So there's needed very specially structured skills. So the failure of the celadon is really high, under the 30%. I call it 30%. We only made 3 or 5 pieces a year. That's why we have only 3 or 5 pieces a year. And then the celadon's color we call the Korean salad the normally historical called Goryeo salad because the Goryeo is the origin pronunciation of the Korea. So the same meaning of the Goryeo salad and Korean salad. But the Korean salad is different from other countries' salad because Korea doesn't have high quality clay or materials for ceramic. But this celadon came from China about 1,000 years ago. The China, they have a huge land and a lot of land, very high quality clay, it's called kaolin. They normally have a white kaolin or a gray kaolin, but Korea doesn't have a white or even gray kaolin. So my ancestors made that clay about 10 more component other clays to combine. So the color of the clay of celadon is dark brown. That's the difference from other countries' celadon. Normally, the ceramics celadon clay is bright color, and then using the green glaze. But the Korean celadon is basic dark brown clay on the green color clays. So if you made a green color on the dark brown clays, you should need very thick glaze surface. That's very difficult to handle it or fire. That's so we call it very deep green color from the fire, after fire. So that's why these Korean celadons green color is specialty and the unique color in the world. And it's very, I'm an art scientist. I'm a ceramic artist and I'm a ceramic engineering doctor. So I figure out what is the component of the green color of the Korean celadon. That is very, high technique of the chemical reaction there. The Korean clay and glaze, celadon glaze, have a little component of the peroxide. So when the firing without air, we call the reduction firing. That time, the peroxide, the fire took the oxygen from the peroxide. That time, that chemical reaction can change the dark brown to green color. So there's very few different components of other countries' clay and glaze. So that's the very unique skills of my ancestors. That's the very high techniques discovery. So that's why we call the Korean celadons a secret of 1,000 years ago. So, okay, there's more difficult to explain more, but now it's just simple short one. Oh yeah, this is a very good example. This is it's not a reduction firing. This is oxidation firing. I mean, without chemical reaction. Normal Korean, the dark brown clay color on the same glaze, but just without a reduction firing can change is like we call it brown celadon. But when you firing by reduction without air, it changes green color. That's the scientific discovery of my ancestors' secret. I think this is not enough to understand the Korean celadon. But today is our reception day, so I just want to introduce just shortly what is the Korean celadon. Thank you for your and thank you for the Thank you very much.